What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. Let me say that one more time. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability, get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me, yes, me, at your next event. I like to party with the people. You know, the weddings are coming back. We're breaking out of this coronavirus. It's time to get out and have a good time. All right, use precautions. I get it. This week's shows. Oh, wait, before I announce this week's shows, today on the program, well, if you're watching the video version of this, you'll know. Nadia Flamenco. Who's Nadia Flamenco? Well, you're going to find out in the next few minutes. Yeah, so stick around for that. This week's shows. I have one public show. Yes, we're breaking out. This will be the fifth week since the opening of the economy that I will be at the RAB in Conway, Arkansas. Yes, you know the RAB, your favorite place to be in the whole wide world. If you're out there on the What Makes You Famous walking tour, you better walk on up into the RAB Friday night. That's at 8 p.m. and we go until about 1 in the morning. So yes, they have the full bar. They have the kitchen open, the pool tables. In fact, for the last couple of weeks, I guess, the pool tournament has been back. So I'm so glad to see the pool players are back in the house. Some of the pool players like to sing, and some of the singers like to play pool. And you can do it all right there at the RAB, having some fun with the folks. I think we're doing limited capacity, so come on in. And, I think we're at 75. It's a pretty big room, so 75 people can show up and just have a good time with us. It's felt like old times, really. I know we used to pack the house up really tight and everybody, like sardines, but, we're taking precautions. I've been sanitizing the microphones a whole lot more than usual, usually after every singer. I mean, I think every once in a while somebody grabs the mic before I get a chance to wipe it down. I say, hey, give me that, and I wipe it down for them. So, yeah, I'm cautious. I mean, vigilant as we break out of this coronavirus. All right, and I want to implore the scientists, please find a cure. All right, I know you're working on it. All right, let's get into it with Nadia Flamenco. I get to have her on the Skyping Nadia Flamenco now. I think we're ready to go. Yes. Nadia Flamenco on the What Makes You Famous podcast. It's Keys Dan. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm super fantastic. Well, for those of the people that don't know who is Nadia Flamenco, you can tell the people a little bit about who you are. Go ahead now.
Alexa, stop. I'm sorry, my alarm. Okay, so I am, I will say an actress first, a filmmaker, and producer, a little bit of everything in the show business here in San Francisco, yes.
Well, I like that. That's the blurb that I get if I'm looking at your Instagram. It has Latina filmmaker in the Bay Area, SAG and AFTRA. You might explain what SAG and AFTRA is and maybe IATSE and Local 16. I'm guessing that's some kind of a union that you have there, and 134 and 107. Take us through that. What is the SAG and AFTRA? So, you can explain that to some people.
SAG is a Screen Actors Guild, where you are considered part of the union of actors, professional actors, where the union protects more your rights in the film industry. That's basically the main thing. IATSE is the International Association for Stagehand in Canada and US. So there are different unions. I'm not a member yet because that is something you earn, but I freelance for them. So I work there are different unions depending the area where they work. So if it's San Francisco, it's Local 16. If it's Sacramento, San Jose is 134. and 107 is if it's East Bay, Oakland. So it's the area where the stagehands work, and it can be from a stagehand building theater to cameras that are part of IATSE. So it's a big community. They are amazing part of the union who protect. Oh, I'm sorry, who protects your rights, and a better salary, everything that is related to workers' uh, rights, right?
That's
So
that's pretty cool. I
I
mean,
love to be part of them.
yeah.
I love to work for them. I work for them, and of course, I freelance by myself and create content with different filmmakers here in the Bay Area.
See, that's pretty cool because I've heard and I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of times there's actors and actresses and filmmakers and all the entertainment types. And when they get into these unions, a lot of times you have to do only work in the union. You cannot work outside of the union. But what you're telling me, Nadia Flamenco, is that you can work within the union and also do independent stuff as well. That's something that's very new to me. I had no idea.
Well, I'm not a member of the union IATSE yet, because that's something that you build. But and that's basically I'm freelance for them. When they are short of a staff, then they hire me. Yeah,
See, I'm learning. I'm learning from you,
yeah,
Nadia Flamenco.
yeah. But of
Okay.
course,
Yes.
my desire is to be part of a member for them, because then is your job is more stable. They have so many venues. Then it's just beautiful to work with them. Their skill, your skill as a member. They have so many people that became experts in one or different roles. So I learn from them. I'm able to it's a degree. Let's say right now I'm a little freelancer who is learning few stuff, but then you became an apprentice, and then you can open your learning, and then you became a member. After being an apprentice, you became a member. So right now I'm a little baby for them.
Well, me being outside of that realm of that world, I'm just a guy from Miami, Florida that currently finds himself in Central Arkansas, and I've never been a member of any of the acting community. I mean, I've done a little bit of acting, school plays, that kind of thing. But from what I understand, I thought that all you had to do was have a speaking role in any movie, any production, and then you can apply or be sponsored to become a part of SAG or AFTRA. Is that right?
Well, here in San Francisco, I don't know if in other areas, as a San Francisco actor, yes, I am SAG. I'm a member of SAG. And then you're right, I cannot work in other thing as an actor, but I'm a filmmaker, so backstage I can work as a director, because I'm not part of the uh, director's guild. That's another guild. But so there are so many in LA. They are, of course, they have more knowledge and more unions. The Bay Area, because it's not the mecca of Hollywood, right? So we have more indie productions here. So I cannot be acting in a film, but I can be directing something, or I can be a script supervisor or casting director. I can do that, but I'm not acting in those films unless they are SAG. Then yes, I can do that.
That is pretty cool. You have so many different avenues that you can explore as a creator. You're not stuck as an
Yeah.
actress. You're not stuck as a filmmaker. You can work behind the scenes. You can work the camera.
Yeah.
You can even be a grip. You can do all the.
Yes, I have been. I
Yeah,
have been a great.
yeah. You mentioned that.
I've
You
been a best girl. But one thing that you say, so how do you get SAG here? Is you need, like you say, you can have a speaking role, and then immediately go become SAG, or then in my case, I got 3 vouchers from SAG Union, from some background work that I did for some films that were union, and they needed some people, so I was able to. They were short of SAG actors, I believe, and then they give you the option for non-union actors. And after 3 vouchers, then you're able to go SAG.
That's okay. So you've never had a speaking role before you became into SAG? A speaking role on a film?
It's, I had a speaking role in indie productions, but not in big SAG productions, not yet.
Okay,
Close,
so
getting close.
you're getting there. All right. So Nadia
Yeah.
Flamenco. All right. I can tell. I can tell that maybe your first language was not English. Posiblemente habla español. Es posible?
Por supuesto.
Ah, por supuesto. Okay. Yo soy de Miami, Miami, Florida. Y si hay alguien, if there's anybody that doesn't speak Spanish, learn, okay? Si hay alguien que no habla español, necesita aprender. No, soy medio cubano. I'm half Cuban from Miami,
Ah,
Florida.
nice.
So I recognize that there's
I
a bit of a
know. I know
Latinx.
one word in Cuban is called hacer. Que volar. Hacer.
¡Qué bola! El viejo.
Que volar.
Está bien. Está bien. Now, hey, you're taking me back to Miami, Florida. But you know, I know
Yes.
that it's where did you where were you raised, Nadia Flamenco? Where did you get your background? Take me through your life, Nadia Flamenco, as
Okay.
a little Nadia Flamenco. Where were you at?
So I was born in El Salvador. It's in Central America. That's where I was born. At age 4 in the school, I started doing acting, little things. And the teachers always told me, you know how it is in school. Everything that it was a little presentation here. Come, Nadia, you help us. So that's where I start doing singing and acting, dancing, and everything, a little bit of everything. That's when I did in high school. Oh no, then around 7, 8, I went to a Christian church, and I became part of the choir for a while. After that, I went to the school choir, high school choir, and I did contempo dance. I did a little bit of ballet, and then I was in El Salvador maybe in my 20s, 28. But that was always my hobby. Like my parents couldn't be, maybe because El Salvador is a poor country and it's really hard to be an artist. So you have to always do other things. So my background, my parents were lawyers, and it's like you were born in a shoemaker place, so you better be a lawyer. So I became a lawyer.
What?
I'm a Salvadoran lawyer, and but during the last year of law school, I applied for a scholarship with one of the best director of theater in El Salvador, and I got it. So I studied with him for maybe around 4, 6 months, but I did production with him. I didn't do acting. I did production because I was finishing my career as a lawyer, and I couldn't have the time to act and do that. But I was able to help him with production. So that's where I continued doing production. Then 2008, I met the father of my kids in El Salvador, and that same year I got pregnant, and then we got married. Then the next year I wait for my
Congratulations.
documents, and then I came to US with my daughter, and I was not a lawyer anymore. So what other thing I could do? I say, okay, I'm not a lawyer anymore. I'm gonna start acting. So I'm happy till that was my first job in US. It was being a background actor in a commercial. And till today, you see, you're asking me stuff about acting. So till today, acting has been opening my doors and my knowledge, and yeah. So that's why.
My goodness, you've glossed it over. You gave me like the broad strokes of your life, Nadia Flamenco. I know there's a whole lot more in there. Your parents were lawyers. These people were smart people, and then they encourage you to be a smart person as well. Read books, learn the law, learn things, and go to school and go all the way before anything else. And even as a small small girl, you were in, creativity. So you were working what I guess what most people would say both halves of your brain, where you had the creative side and you had the analytical side. So you could do anything. That says a lot about you, Nadia Flamenco. When you have your mind set to something, you go for it. You can do it. And no job is too small for you, and no job is too big for you. It seems like
Amen.
oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, it seems like if somebody wants to collaborate with you, you're the go-to person. But I was taking you back before we got cut off, and I guess I'm editing. If anyone, hopefully, they don't notice the edits, but I'm going to let them know that I edited a little bit just so they can hear, that I did. But I want you to take me back to a little girl, a little Nadia Flamenco, back in El Salvador. How were your parents? How was the family situation? And did you have brothers and sisters that you left them back in El Salvador, or did they come with you to the USA?
Well, that's a long story.
I got
but
time.
make it to make it short. Well, my dad was a lawyer. He was a good lawyer, and he became a famous lawyer. So for that reason, maybe he had a lot of girls around. To make the story short, he had 4 houses and 8 kids. But my mom was a single mom, and a little strict. So she took her the way she raised me was like, I want good grades and you can party, or I want good grades and you can do whatever you want. So that was the only condition in the house, and that's what I did. I gave her good grades, and then I was partying and doing a lot of things with my friends, all good things. But I had good fun though. It was really fun. My childhood. So that's what I did. I was involved in the school. I finished studying in high school, and then my mom said, you know what? I can afford a school for you, but I want you to work. So she helped me to get a job, and I was able to work in the government in the legal area for a while. I worked for the department about lands. So I was able to go for big walks in lands that are, you can see nature and all those things. Then I work in the Register of Commerce and Intellectual Property, and that's why I have learned some basic stuff that is still help me now in the show business too, because I was related to creative people over there and people, entrepreneurs who were trying to do the business. So that's what I think. Everything it did help me to become the person that I'm now. Even I'm not able to be a lawyer. I don't know if I will go back and try to get California license. I'm not really sure if I will go there because I do really like the show business more. But I haven't canceled the idea. And but what I can say is that everything in my life that had happened, it had made me the person that I am right now, and I'm more aware. If we're doing a production, what do I need to do, or what papers we need to know, or basic stuff, or legal stuff to prevent any injury, any sue. You know how it is. So I'm happy that I have that background that helps me knowing, and at the same time now I do support the city as a volunteer for the city. So I'm a commissioner for the city where I can give my point to and say, well, we can do this better. Or so my political and my legal is still there.
So amazing,
It's
Nadia
still there.
Flamenco. All right, so you made that trip shortly after high school. You met your husband, or the father of your kids, the way you explained it. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
No, I didn't. They all,
Okay.
well, I do have, but they are over there in El Salvador, all my
Every,
family, yeah.
everybody's left back there. Do you still keep in contact with them?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Yes, yes,
fantastic. The
yeah,
miracle of modern technology. We can Skype, we can Zoom, we can keep in touch with each other. Even the telephone. What's a telephone,
yeah.
Grandpa? Everybody FaceTimes now. So,
It's true. It's true.
I'm learning this technology as we go along, but certainly, I mean, I'm having a good time. I know that there's more to Nadia Flamenco, and I am definitely going to find out a little bit more. Now, when you came to the states, that's it. You had to forfeit all of your law degree. That's back in El Salvador. Now in El Salvador, you did do some work for the law. I mean, how what were the interesting things that you did with the law in El Salvador? Any interesting parts that you were able to maybe push forward some legislature or help people in certain ways? Anything interesting in lawyer time?
Well, yes, I was working for the government. Like I say, my job was to give licensing for new entrepreneurs or renew license. So I think the most important thing we did during that time with the team, not just me, but with the team of lawyers, it was to improve the way people registered or start a business in El Salvador. We reduced it to make it 1 week.
That is
So
pretty cool.
everybody who wanted to start a business over there, they were able to start it in 1 week. You were able to get all your license, all your permits, just pay some fees, and then you were able to start your business in 1 week. So I remember we appear in some magazines about law, how El Salvador is starting business in 1 week for any entrepreneur. So that was one of the best things I did, I think.
Yeah, Nadia Flamenco, one of the hardest things about starting a business is all the red tape, all the bureaucracy. And if you can help anyone cut through that red tape, I commend you. That's fantastic. You used your knowledge to help to whittle away. It probably, how long did it take previous to that? How many weeks was it before that?
It could take months, because it was from one department to get to another department, but we figured out a way to make to make it in just one place, the whole documents there. So that was really exciting. Yeah, that was one of the best things that happened while I was working there.
That's very, yeah, it is very disheartening when you're trying to start a business. Say, I have an idea, I want to make spatulas. And okay, you know what? I see a store over there. I'd like to go sell spatulas in that store. And okay, I go to get a permit, and it takes me so much time. I'm so glad that you helped out some people. Do you still keep in touch with some of the people that you helped out in El Salvador?
Well, I think with the people that I helped, maybe not completely, but some of my crew, the team of lawyers, of course, all of them, we continue in contact.
It's got to make you proud to see a business that opened up and quickly, partially because of what you did. That has to feel good that you help somebody make their livelihood. And then, no,
Yes.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that was back in El Salvador when you were a little girl, still, much younger. And then you came here to the United States. You came with the father of your children. That's
No, he's from here. So
oh,
we
okay.
met in El Salvador in a wedding, and then
Wow.
we, yeah, I know. It's an interesting story.
Well, tell me
And
the love
then,
story. Yes, please.
okay, so I was one of the bridesmaids, and his sister was a friend of the guy, and so his sister told him, "Hey, let's go to El Salvador and let's go to this wedding." So my ex, he was not completely invited to the wedding, but his sister was. So he went there, and he saw this beautiful girl, and he said, "This is completely a product that you export." So he continued coming to El Salvador, and one of those, I think the fourth time he was coming, or third, I don't remember, fifth time. So one of those times I got pregnant. So from there, I know, look at your eyes. But it was the fourth time though. It was a long time, we were doing long distance calling and everything every day.
No, you're a good
So
girl. You're a
then
good
he
girl. You
came
did
and
it the right way.
proposed.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what was
Yeah.
the color of your bridesmaid's dress? What were you dressed in?
my bride dress.
Yeah, the
It was
bridesmaid's dress.
pearl.
Pearl. Wow, that's almost
Yeah,
white. Wow, that's
yeah.
unusual. Usually, nobody else can wear white except for the bride, and pearl is very close to white. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I get it might be different in El Salvador.
No, I think it's the same tradition, but I just didn't like the fabric, and I think that's why I decided that color, and because it was not completely white.
Nah, that's correct. So Nadia Flamenco, this man, he just came down there and he says, "Look at that! I check that out." And he just kept coming back for more. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I like that. And how many kids do you have with him?
I have 3 kids. Yeah,
Wow. Hey, Mazel
yeah.
Tov. Congratulations. That's beautiful.
Thank you,
How are the
thank
kids
you.
doing?
They're doing good. They're with him right now, so we're good.
Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. So we got to the United States. You followed him up here primarily, or did you come for another reason?
No, I came here to visit in 2004. No, 94 and 95,
Oh, okay.
just to visit. Then I came here as international student in 2001.
What were you studying then?
I was taking English classes and computer. I was trying to find out what did I like. But then 9/11 happened, and 9/11 was international student who did the big impact in the towers. So I was scared, and I decided to go back to El Salvador and continue with my education there. I didn't. We had a war for 10 years in El Salvador. So when I came here and I had the 9/11, for me was like, oh no, bye. I'm ready to go back home, and that's why it was harder for international students because of that 9/11. So I went back. I didn't have the courage to come to US and stay like without documents like some people do. That to me is courageous. I didn't have that courage to stay without documents. So I decided to go back and just stay there. My student visa was for 1 year, but I decided just to cancel it in a 6 month. So that's where I went back and started, finished my law school, and I was done with US at the moment. But then suddenly my ex he was American and I did love him, so I was like, okay, wherever the wind takes me, and it took me here back to California.
It's kismet. That's say it took you here. It gave you some beautiful children, and
Yeah, exactly. It was meant to be.
that's a
And
wonderful
I
thing.
and I feel grateful what happened. So it's okay.
So you saying, or you kind of glossed over it growing up. You had a war in El Salvador. When did that
Oh
go
yeah,
on?
that was really scary. It's really sad, and that's why, I do appreciate order, and maybe that's why my brain functions different than what is happening right now, because I know what it is a war. I survive a war. I know what it is to where you live in a country where police just cannot do their job. I know what is to call the police, and the police comes maybe 1 hour after because there is no resource, and they just come and just check, and there is nothing that for them to do. So, the way that I think right now, what is happening right now is maybe because I have lived what it is have a police without funding, and I'm sorry that we're going political here, but it is what it is. I have lived that, and I know what it is when police cannot arrive on time when you need somebody. And here, the beauty of US is in any emergency, you call and they are in your house in 5 minutes. And so that's something that people have is taken for granted. That's what I can say.
No, one of the reasons that I'm here to talk to you, Nadia Flamenco, is I want you to tell your story, and I want to hear your views on things and your experiences, and then you can give insight on what you had down in El Salvador. You didn't have a police department that came when you called right away.
No,
You
no. I
called,
mean,
yeah.
no. We had so many cases. Violence is really strong over there. Gangs now gangs have the power of a country, and it's really dangerous. It's dangerous as much as you want. It's dangerous. You something happen in your house, you call the police, and police don't come,
Wow.
or come maybe half an hour or 45 minutes after everything had happened. So the only thing they can do is they fill out a paper and say, okay, thank you, I'm sorry this happened to you. We don't have money for investigation, so it's gonna be in a file. Have a good luck. And
Incredible.
the judicial system as well gets affected, because there are hundreds of cases of murders, of violence, that the department is so small that they cannot even figure it out. It's just a file in a document, and it is there. So that's why I think the way I think today, and I think people don't know what it is to live in a country where police is defunded completely.
Yeah.
So I do know. I'm talking from experience, but I respect their opinions, but it's whatever it is.
Well, a lot of people don't know what defund the police is, and what we're talking about. And if for anyone that's listening, 20 years in the future, this might be the only time capsule. We're recording this on June 23rd of 2020, and currently, the world's in turmoil. But between this coronavirus that's going on, and it's a flu that has no cure right now, so that's a problem. And then on top of that, to compound it, recently, a video, a video that gives complete proof that there is a problem with the police in this country. And maybe it's one bad apple in 100, but it's that one, that got caught on film killing George Floyd. And this is what we're currently talking about, what's going on politically. But then to defund the police, the call to
like I
defund
was
the.
telling some, I do try to participate in things on my city where we discuss how to get over this situation. I do have a lot of friends of mine who are black, who are Asians, everywhere, every color, and I understand their pain. I understand what are they going through right now. But to me, it's to find leaders who are really committed and empathize with communities and really want to do a change in your own representation of color.
Yeah.
That's to me the most important. If we have leaders on top who are really committed, who are not moving their power because of money, and you really represent your color of your race, and then it will be different. But power sometimes makes people blind.
Yeah, I mean, the people that are calling for the defund the police, a lot of them don't know what defund the police means. It doesn't mean abolish the police department, wipe them away completely. It just means take some of that money and allocate it for social programs and things of the like. Maybe put it into a school education program to help somebody to get out of poverty, because a lot of times people are desperate. That's what causes them to have problems with the police anyway, is that desperation. They don't have an education. They don't have a good house. They don't have food in their bellies, so they have to go and they're desperate, so they go and possibly steal it, and do things that are criminal, and that's where the problems ensue. So hopefully people are figuring out, yes, we need the police department. It needs to be there. If without the police department, we'd have anarchy. But there also has to be other things that the police don't have to get involved in. If there's a kid that's walking the streets by himself, you don't have to call the police. You can call a social worker, and possibly that would help. So there's other things that the police can be doing that they don't have to be doing. But because we don't have,
like I said, if you, for example, for me, education it has been powerful for a lot of different skills, and look in the bad neighborhood, bring education, bring something that can empower new generations, right? That's what we need.
Absolutely. And you as a filmmaker, bringing you back to the films, you as a filmmaker, you can make stories about those situations to inspire people. I mean, let's go through your film making career in as it happens. And you're in San Francisco, which is quite a few hours from Hollywood. But from what I understand, Hollywood is kind of a state of mind. It's not a place. It's a feeling. You can have Hollywood anywhere in the world. A big Hollywood movie can be made in, Podunk, Alabama. It
Yeah.
can, so you're in San Francisco making, or you making big productions, or are you making independent films? What kind of filmmaking are you into? When you first got to the United States, what kind of jobs were you in?
Well, I started as a background actor.
Yeah,
I
in that
did
in a
back.
commercial. What commercial?
That one was for a commercial company here in San Francisco that they did a commercial for Wi-Fi. Yeah, and the company's still running. It's still running. I haven't worked with them anymore. I don't think. I think I worked with them twice, but I haven't worked with them recently. What else? But that was my first one. It was a commercial. Then I did some background for big movies. Yeah, I have done big movies background. I
What?
was in the 13 Reasons for a little bit. 13 Reasons Why. The Ant versus Wasp. What other one we did? Jexy. We did. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I don't remember. No, I think it's fine if I mention them. I've been in theater, of course, in City College, but behind the scenes or part of productions, I have been done indies more. We have some feature films that we are trying to produce right now, but we're trying to get budget for a feature film of a friend of mine, and we're there. Even right now with COVID, it's hard, but we're trying to get budget for that feature film. So it's getting there slowly but surely.
No, that's very exciting. Well, okay. When you first got here, you started doing. Well, did you do a lot of commercials or just the one commercial?
I no, I have done a lot of commercials. I will say yes. I have done a lot of commercials.
Very cool.
What else? In the film, short films. Sometimes I have been in different places. Not just acting. I have been learning script supervision and casting, directing, and PA grip. Any little part during the production that we needed. So we have different teams that we're like a family.
Well,
That
I
if
mean,
one person is doing something and they need some people, then yeah, I think the community here is really inclusive in San Francisco. For me, has been a bless. With any people, it's like, hey, I'm doing something. Do you need help? And that's the difference between San Francisco and LA. That here, even if you don't have money, we make it happen
that
because
is
there is a lot of solidarity. But also, we need to encourage more a little bit the business side.
That is really cool. Well, of course, in doing a little bit of research, trying to find out more about you, Nadia Flamenco. I want to hear it from you, but I know that you have an IMDb out there, and anybody with social media can find out anything about anyone now as time progresses, as things happen. But in 2017, you did a video short. What's Social Snafu? I guess we can go through your little
No, that one
things.
was a short film for a company, and they hire me and my baby. The baby in that short film is my son, so I just had my son, and honestly, he got the gig, and he got me, Elmet, because he was the baby,
Have you told him
and
that story? Have you ever told him that story?
yes, yes, that was
Oh,
he got a lot of money from that short film.
wow! That
So
he
I
got
was
his mom
really
the
excited
job.
because he was my baby. So even any of your people that are your listeners, and if they have a baby, you know what? You can start them in the show business too. They can start raising their money for college.
Yeah, that's what you got to tell the kid. Any money you make from this, it's going to college. That's it. You can't use it for anything else. Only college.
It's true, but it was fun. My kids, I think, like the point where I am right now, they have been in a lot of short films or stuff that I'm making that we have been using them. So some of them, I can see, like my daughter, she doesn't like it too much. My son, the middle one, he's more into acting, and he's okay with the acting more if he gets paid. He loves it. Who won, right?
Get those cool
Um,
shoe, get those cool shoes and that T-shirt that he wants and that good toy.
yeah, so they have been already with me there. I was in a play for City College, and then the teacher told me, I want you in the play. And I say, I have my kids some days. And she said, bring them. So they are those kids that have been with me in seeing the theater behind the scenes and having the experience of meeting the actors, meeting the crew. Um, my daughter loves makeup, so when she goes behind the scenes, she goes directly with the moi department, and she stays there and hang out with them. So it's funny to see them, growing around what we have.
Well, just like any project, Nadia Flamenco, the first thing you do is you tap your family, and it sounds like you've gotten your family all together, and they've been involved in some of your projects already. So yeah, some of the family might say, I don't really like this so much, but some of them, hey, you got three, so one out of three, maybe two out of three are going to be really involved with your projects coming up. I could see that. So okay, so you have a few acting credits, 7 acting credits here on the IMDb, but I see that you've been a producer, miscellaneous crew, the electrical department, anything that you need Nadia Flamenco to do in the film business, you call on her for sure. I can tell you that. Me Against the World, what's that all about? Francine, number one,
Oh, that
2017.
one was a friend of mine. Um, she sadly died recently. She
Oh,
died less than a month ago.
oh,
She was a student in City College. We met in a film, and we just collide. And she said to me, I have some projects. At that moment, I was not completely stuck, but I did like where she said, let's do one project. She finished it, and you were able to see it in any way. And so I did like that about her. She was really into trying to make content over and over and over. So we became good friends, and I decided to help her. There was good scenes that we did together, and I just wish that she rest in peace now. But
oh.
it was a good memory. Yeah.
That's beautiful that you got to put her you put her project to use, and now she's living forever through that project. That's the one thing
Exactly.
about being a creator. You can make movies, make music, and you live forever through those projects. That's beautiful, and
Yeah.
you helped her out with that. So all right, you already alluded that you've had some education in the film business. How did that come about? Because you were spinning your wheels a little bit after you got here from El Salvador, where you were doing some computers and maybe try this and maybe try some of that. When did you really dig in and say, hey, you know what? I want to do this film. Well, when did that start? What year?
Well, I think it started at City College, San Francisco. I was taking teaching classes to be a better parent, um, of child education. But then suddenly I couldn't get that class, and the only class that it was there, it was singing. So I did love that class a lot, and from there, I think the next step I went to acting classes at City College. And I think when I was sitting down there, I took what was the name, audition class.
Yeah.
My teacher is John Wilk, and he we did some improv, some monologues, and at the end he said, this is a business, and you can start making your career. And by that time, I was already doing little things. I think I did already the commercial, and I was doing the singing, and I think I did a background for Steve Jobs that I found on Craigslist, something like that. So I was always getting a little tickle in my body, and then when he said this is a business, and I say I will try to just go for it as a business. And in 2015, I think that's when I decided to take it more serious.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. So that's betting on yourself. You had no other job, no other income. You were saying, you know what, I want to go ahead and do this full time, or were you doing little Joe jobs? Because a lot of times you hear actors and actresses, they're they have to do fast food or do something to pay the bills. But when did you? Is this your full time job now?
No, right now it's
Okay.
my 75% job.
Very cool. Very cool. I mean, it's always nice to have something to fall back on and something steady. I have a day
Yeah.
job myself where I call that my insurance job. And then I have my DJ job and my podcasting job and my online radio where that's my dream job where I can put all my day job into my creative. And this is where you're at right now, to where you're expanding your creative job. Now you've worked behind the scenes and a little bit in front of the camera, and you've studied. Do you find that the classes that you've taken have helped you through in your career, Nadia Flamenco?
Yeah, yes, definitely. Like seeing theater as for example, I took theater history. That's interesting because you learn more about different plays in the story or different techniques, Stanislavski and or Chekhov and etc., right? Um, that's something that I didn't know in El Salvador at all. And other classes, I will say maybe accent. I'm trying to work it out.
Hey, you got the
But
El Salvador accent really good. It's really good. Your El Salvador accent, English accent. I think it's spot on. If anybody's looking for an El Salvador English speaking accent type, I think you call Nadia Flamenco for sure. No,
thank you.
and I'm sure you're working on your accent because here I am in Arkansas. I should be talking like this. I should have a little bit of a twang on me, but no, I bring my accent from Miami, and then when I went to broadcasting school, school is very important. It's very good. They made sure that I enunciate all of my words and make sure that you speak properly and clearly so that way people can understand you. Because if you mumble like this, nobody's gonna understand you like nothing. No, yeah. So yeah, you're learning a lot of things in your acting classes and your film classes. Now, do you find that you like to work in front of the camera or behind the camera? What's your favorite thing to do? And yeah.
That's what I feel like right now. I'm exploring that area. I did enjoy. We did a video recently for for a doctor's company. I mean, it's a app for a corporation. We just uh, we just aired it yesterday, I think, yesterday on Facebook. And this is an app for COVID reasons. So I was able to meet the person and say, you know what, let me direct your video. I want to direct it. So I do enjoy directing too.
Wow.
I,
So
I
you
enjoy
directed
directing
this
a lot.
video? You directed the video that you about the COVID?
Yeah,
See, I tell people if they want to do any job, just do that job. That no job is too big, no job is too small. And don't be afraid to say yes to the small jobs. What you would think is a small job. It's not a small job. You're going to be helping people with this video. I haven't even seen it, but just the fact that you've made this video, you're you're helping someone do something, and that's a way to get your foot in the door. I mean, what other projects have you been the director of? Have you done videos before? Or is this the first time that you've directed?
no. Well, like I said, in high school, I did one directing movie. Sadly, I have tried to get it again, but I think it's lost. It
Oh,
was in VHS version, yes. So that was my first directing. It was a long movie for a graduation thing, but it was funny. And I did another a short that I directed that is my movie. That one is still in post production, but it's gonna come soon. And these videos that we're doing is around 7 videos that we did for the company, but we just finished editing one yesterday. So that's why it came out yesterday.
Very cool, Nadia Flamenco. Now that one that you had in El Salvador, was it a good story? Do you still have the script for that one?
It was not based on a script. It was a book. So
Yeah.
it was the book. It was called La Gringa.
Yeah.
So we needed to do. Our assignment was to do the book and then two commercials and I believe another story. So it was four things that we needed to accomplish in that CD that is no, it's VHS version that is lost.
Oh
But
no,
maybe
no.
one day we will find it. I don't know.
No, no, you don't even have
I'm
to
trying
find
to.
it. This is your chance right now, Nadia Flamenco, to put it out there to the ether, to the universe that you're going to be remaking La Gringa, Nadia Flamenco's La Gringa, starring whoever you want, and you can make that film again and put it out to the world. I can see it. 2021. Let's go with what is it? October of 2021. I think that's enough time to get it finished. What do you think?
Now you're challenging me, probably. Yeah.
I put it out to the universe. Think big, be big. You got this. No, and you've already directed things. I could see it in your face. For those that are listening to the audio only version of this, I encourage you to go out to my YouTube and you could see Nadia's face whenever she's talking about these projects that she's doing. Even what someone would consider a small project. There's no small projects. Everything is a
Yeah.
learning experience. It's something that you have another tool in your tool belt
Yes,
to help
yes.
you along.
Like for example, like to encourage some people that are listening to you is that in my case, I went to these classes of at City College, right? And there were some plays because I didn't have time or something that I couldn't perform as an actor. And then I talked to the director and I said, look, I cannot perform, but I can help you backstage with something you need for the dates of the play. And actors rehearse longer, but then the tech is just the tech week and then the shows. So it's less time that you commit to the play, but you're still committing a lot of time. So I said to him, let me help you with the sound oh my god, I forgot, or showing some projections.
What's a
So
projection?
that's how it started.
No, what's a
Me helping
projection?
him.
What is a
Yeah,
projection?
projections during the play.
What is that?
Projection. Oh, like videos behind in the stage. So I was in charge of the projections in the videos
Oh,
that or in the play during the play, showing the videos behind it or whatever the simulation or symbols they wanted to show. So what I want to tell you is that gave me a tool for me to get a job with somebody who was in the show business, who hired me for making lighting and projections for his concerts. And I was able to go. I think that was the first time I started being backstage getting paid when he hired me. His name is Brandon Cruz, and he hires me to be backstage with him doing sounds, doing lighting, and then I was able to go to a Stevie Nicks concert, helping helping him in the concert, and that it gave me more credits in my resume to get a job for IATSE. So it was like a little, connecting the dots here and there that it helped me, like I said, being able to work more in the show business now.
no, Nadia Flamenco, and I'm glad that you're giving credit where credit is due. As you've been going through, you talked about City College. You said the name of your teacher. Everybody that helps you along the way. You cannot forget them because somewhere down the
Yeah.
line, you might say, "Oh, you know what? I could use that person's help again. I know
Yes.
somebody that's perfect for this project," and you could tap on them because if you're good to people, they're going to be good to you as well. So I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
see that you're a nice person and just being nice to people, and as you're doing projects with them, and yes, always give the names of the people that helped you along the
Yeah.
way. Nadia
Yeah,
Flamenco.
like if I can mention some names, I mean, so all my teachers at City College have given me so much support as well. Then on Craigslist, one time I was looking for a job, and then I said they were looking for people in the Bay Area to support them produce a class. So I called them and I say, look, my resume, let me know if you need help. And that's Tom Todorov. He's a coach in New York who was coming here, and his class is just amazing. And he say, well, you know what? Because you're an actor, you can go to my class, and if you help me to produce it, you're gonna be in my class for free. So I was like, what? And that's how it started. Then he connects me with some. It's just like you have no idea. Like when you really want to work in this show, in this area or in any area, and you help somebody, then this person sometimes say, you know what, she's really good for this, or you know what, how. So it's like a chain, a blockchain
No,
that
Nadia
it just
Flamenco,
goes on and on and on.
you're giving people gold. This is gold. Very good
Yes.
advice for people is to
And
get together and find those jobs. Craigslist. I mean, just to find a job there. Never. How? I mean, okay. So where do you say you have 7 projects right now that are currently in post production?
no, no, not 7.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know. Uh, I don't know right now. I have 7 videos.
so,
7 videos.
yeah, that are
7 videos.
currently
Yeah.
being worked on right now. So you do you have an editor that helps you to put
Oh
things
yeah.
together?
Like right now, I think we met with this person last year. He needed a model for his videos. He's a YouTuber,
Ah,
and then I connect with him. He had a lot of experience editing, and then he gave me the opportunity to be in one of his videos. Then when I was doing my short film, we had a small budget, and then he said, you know what, I have camera, I have all these tools, and then he helped me out. So we have been working together already around 5 times together, and I think we are a really nice team. So we film a lot of videos for the startup, and we're editing those right now. So we want to give just content for the startup. That is amazing. They're doing a really good job for COVID, and I hope people listen to them as well. So yeah, it's interesting because from there, some people already saw the video and told me, "Hey, this is really good." So it's like your show too. I
yeah.
really appreciate what you're doing for me, and including me in your program. And thank you for making this space for me over there in Arkansas.
Oh,
So
that's the thing
very
about
much
show
appreciate.
business. You do one good job, they keep calling you over and over and over again. So keep doing good jobs. Keep doing good things
Thank you.
for good people. And
Yeah.
talking to you is just instilling that into me even further. It just makes me know just keep being good to people. Keep promoting people.
Yes.
Build people up
Yes.
as you're climbing the ladder. Grab somebody on the way up and take them up with you. And that's how
Yes.
they're going to get better. You're going to get better as you climb up. And
And
ah,
like the people that I met at City College, sometimes people take it for granted, but there are some amazing teachers over there that you have no idea, and they are doing it because they are committed to help the community too. you know
well,
and
yeah.
yeah, I took a class recently for film production, and she is one of the best film line producers here in the Bay Area.
That's cool.
And she just goes to City College because she wants the students from City College to really learn and have opportunities.
Well,
So I think when you meet people that are really committed to their values and the love for others, it just inspires you,
it is very
right?
inspiring. I agree. I agree completely. It's oh my goodness. I know I had something on my train of thought, but okay. You you're making these little videos. How long are the videos?
Well, it took us maybe 3 hours to make it, but we tried to make it 5 minutes because I was in a course about networking where it says social media. I do a little social media, and they say the span of concentration, or that people put attention in your videos, is around 4 minutes, 5 minutes in the social media. So we're trying to make them short for people to understand the main idea in 5 minutes.
So to make a 5-minute video, how much time do you have to to how much time do you have to film so that it can be condensed to 5 minutes?
Well, in my case, it was maybe 3 hours. But in the show business, for example, I was in a scene. That's beautiful what you ask. That's a lot of work of people that sometimes actors and no, I mean sometimes people that are looking at the video they have no idea. And maybe it's just one scene that it took 5 minutes for you to see it, but it has been at work for the whole 24 hours, even 4 months working in that scene. And so much crew that has been involved behind the scene, cast. I mean, is I think when it's a big production, you value like there are hours and hours in this on set that get reduced to seconds, and sometimes everything gets out and nothing is getting included. But the people of the production knows, that I remember I was talking with some people that were part of Breaking Bad, and they were telling me how they were months. They were there. I don't know, 6 years, I believe, 6 years or something like that. And people have no idea how long it takes for a production to set up everything. Or the 1917, that film that it pretend that it is taken in one take, that just a stage it was built in 4 months to make that movie. So there is so much work that people have no idea how long it takes for maybe 2 seconds of a scene, or a commercial in I remember I was talking with an AD for in LA, and he was telling me sometimes they did 3 days on a shoot for a commercial that is 2 or 3 minutes, less than that, like just, but it's 3 days for them to fly over here, stay someplace, do all these films and produce and get ready, cranes and everything they need for the shoot. So it's really impressive to see so much work. And I think that's why I always like to see the credits at the end of every film.
Yeah, so amazing. And yes, if you look at those credits, there is more than just that one actor that's sitting in front of the camera. There are so many people behind that camera that are working
Yeah.
hard. And from what I've heard in different interviews, different people that are, like acting, the through line that I hear is for acting, it's a lot of waiting around for the actor because the crew has to set up those shots. And now you being a member of both sides, have you ever done the acting and the crew on one production?
Yes, I did in a little short film. I was a PA for a short film called The Interview. The director is Nate Duncan, and I was helping them with just traffic. We were doing a scene where a car hits the lead actor that is Nate. The car hits him, so I was in charge of blocking anybody who was able around there. But then they say, we need some people here. Nadia, just come. And then I just say, oh my God, are you okay? Or something like that in the film. But that short film, I don't like to be in both sides. I just like to be in one side. If I'm acting, I just want to be acting. But if I'm directing or doing any crew, then I just like to be in the back.
Yeah, that amazes me because I've heard of that where I acted and directed. I directed myself in the film. That seems like it's so much work to do. You're never sleeping. There's no downtime because you're not only directing the film, but you also have to be a part of the actor. You have to know all the lines. You have to study. Oh my goodness, it has to be such hard work to put one of these big giant productions together. So how far away from that are you? What are your aspirations? Do you want to go? I mean, what kind of projects do you want to do? Do you want to do feature films or
Oh, yeah.
what projects are you looking for?
I would like to be part of a big feature film union. So, because I think indie is different, but union, you see all the legal aspects that a union is, and I think I'm getting ready for that.
So yeah, some people want to keep it small. Some people say under $1 million, and I know $1 million to a lot of people thinks, wow, that's a lot. No, under $1 million, it's still a very small film. More money, more problems. The more people that are involved, that are opening their wallets and giving you money for a production. That's more people that want to have input on that production. So
But I will say,
yeah.
what, the lady that I'm talking to you is Debbie Brubaker. She's the best line producer to me here in the Bay Area. And Debbie, she always said, if it's just make sure everything is written, and you have to save every single bill or anything, everything. Save everything and write everything, because then you have a proven. And that's why I love good mentors, because I feel like the good mentors teach you to have values over everything, and to pay on time, and to prepare good. That's, to me, that's important, to have discipline, and make your word really committed to anything.
You mentioned
So
line
that's
producer. What is a line producer?
so the line producer is the one who tells the director how much his movie's gonna cost, and yeah, that's the main thing, that she can say what exactly is gonna be for a movie to be made here in San Francisco, and what type of equipment you're gonna need, how many people you will need, everything is really, really details.
This movie business is a whole lot more complicated than I thought, and you're in it. You've learned a lot at City College. Even before that, in El Salvador, you had some training there as well, and then on top of that, became a lawyer. Come on, smart cookie. She's a smart girl. Watch out.
Thank you so much, Ma.
No, no,
Thank
no,
you.
no, no.
Thank
Thank yourself, and thank your mom for sure, and your dad, your parents for pushing you through and making you. Hey, you could do all this acting stuff. You can go play and have a good time with your friends, but keep your grades up. That's a good lesson for the kids. Make sure your grades are up, and before you go out and
I
play.
mean, I want to say, if a parent is listening, sometimes your kid is gonna go always with the talent it is, and I won't deny that in my path I choose. I was forced to not go completely with my soul. Let's say it like that, but still, I don't regret it. I learned so many skills from law school too, and yeah, until today. I have to let you go because
Yeah.
I have a meeting with the city right now.
All right.
And
Well, Nadia Flamenco, let the people know how to get a hold of you social wise. And I don't want this to be the last conversation that we have.
no, of
I want to keep
course.
going sometime in the future. But give the people an idea of how to get a hold of you.
Thank you. So you can follow me on Instagram. I'm Nadia Flamenco, and also I use my Facebook, Nadia Flamenco, and you find the same picture. I'm a filmmaker in the Bay Area. I hope you listen and feel inspired. And I just want to say, if you have a dream big dreams, and have faith, and put work on it. And I guess the doors will open slowly, but just keep going, keep going, keep going.
Well, there you have it, party people. Nadia Flamenco. Man, I knew it was going to be good. She's so smiley. And let me tell you, when she was talking about the filmmaking business and being an actress and being behind the camera, she lit up. If you're not watching the video version of the What Makes You Famous program, I need you to go to YouTube right now and check it out. I mean, you'll see every time she was talking about filmmaking, all the projects that she was doing, even the classes that she was taking, she was all smiley. And I know if you're listening to the audio version of this, you can hear it in her voice. You can hear how happy she is to be in this business. And she's a smart cookie on top of everything. A lawyer. Come on. The girl went to school for a long, long time, and she got her law degree. And she even practiced law in El Salvador before she came here. So yes, I mean, I don't have to tell you that. You've heard the podcast. we spent some time learning about Nadia Flamenco, and I hope that she comes back in the near future as time progresses. So look her up. I mean, I have all the links that I could find to her various social media outlets in the show notes. So make sure you give a click on those and give her a follow. And if you need anybody in the filmmaking business, from in front of the camera as an actress or behind the camera, I mean, she'll even put the video out there. She's got, if she doesn't have a lot of time to put into your project, she will give you the time that that she has to help you get your project off the ground. So yeah, I mean, if you want to do any job, I encourage you, take some classes, learn about that job, and just go do that job. Bet on yourself. The people need the world needs actresses and filmmakers, as well as doctors and scientists and even sanitation workers, even any job. As long you just do it right, do it good, do it to the best of your ability. People have aspirations to do many things, and don't be afraid to bet on yourself. And that's what she did. She bet on herself. She's out there, 75% out there as a filmmaker, and soon it's going to be 100%. And I encourage her once again to put that El Gringa. I imagine I'm going to see that film in the theaters or on my Netflix one of these days, one of my streaming services. El Gringa by Nadia Flamenco. All right, I guess I've talked your ear off enough. Thank you so much for listening to the program, or even watching the program on YouTube. This has been What Makes You Famous. If you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to put a follow on us, on me. I guess us. It's us, because it's whoever I'm talking to. So yes, it is a collaborative project, this What Makes You Famous podcast. Hashtag What Makes You Famous. If you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for me. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.